Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, in case you're new or you forgot. It's hard to laugh right now, I'm sorry. There's just so much going on. Holding space with, for Ukraine, this is just heartbreaking to me. But anyway, like I keep saying, I'm just going to do my best to let it go and focus in on our spiritual growth reading for the week. And most of you wanted to go from Sunday to Saturday. So we'll be going from Sunday the 13th through Saturday the 19th. And of course there's the full moon in Virgo in there on Friday. So we'll see if that comes through with the cards. I'm sure it will. And yeah, I could always do a little extra reading just on that too with an oracle deck maybe. Probably be the best way. So anyway, let me drop the camera down and get started. Hold on. Okay, so this is the deck I'm using, the Radiant Rider-Waite, and but I've trimmed the cards down, and I have scribblings on them. It's been my teaching deck for teaching astrology through the tarot, and vice versa. And if you're interested in learning that, I just join as a member and go to the lessons level, and I have everything in there, almost every single thing for even advanced astrology lessons if you want those. And then I'm still working on that, but everything is there for beginner to intermediate. I just have to do transits and nodes and how to read a single chart. And then I have all of the Lenormand lessons and Kipper lessons uploaded. So that's there as well. And of course, first came the tarot. Those are in there. So I decided to leave the cards upright so that you can see the images better. And I will, and I'll read it both ways. So you guys can decide on your own best how you can use the energy for the week. And yes, that full moon is Friday the 18th at 12:17 p.m. Pacific time. Or I'm sorry, what am I saying? 12:17 a.m. Pacific time. And it's at 27 degrees Virgo. So wherever that lands in your chart, that would be the area of your life that will be most illuminated. You may have some release and some expansion. Something comes to fruition. Okay, so the 13th through the 19th. March 13th through the 19th. 2022. Okay, so Sunday. Wow. The world and the lovers. Wow. Okay. Monday. Okay, 8 of Cups with the King of Cups. Well, those certainly go together well. Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday's here. A Death card, big changes. Oh, with 3 of Wands, maybe with travel and progress, things like that. We'll see. I'll get into it more. Let's see, with Wednesday. With the Chariot and the Hierophant. Man, we have a lot of majors already, major arcanas. Hold on, excuse me. Okay, Thursday. Oh, goodness. 3 of Swords and Justice. Friday. The Page of Pentacles. And the Knight of Swords. Hold on, I've got to get a drink of water in a second. Okay, so we just need Saturday. So we have the 9 of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, and I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom, set them over here. I'll look at those in a moment. Okay, so where's my chopstick? Oh, come on. There it is. Okay, so with the, so for Sunday, we have the World, ruled by Saturn, of course, which, we're talking time, we're talking closure, we're talking travel, could be travel for some of you, and making decisions about travel in the future with the lovers here, thinking about it, talking about it, trying to trying to figure out if it's the best thing to do for some of you. And on another level, when the World comes through, it's the card for getting yourself, within the realm of divine order, so that you have closure. If there's anything bothering you, in relationships especially, it can be the card that brings in that the place where you just can't feel totally stable. Now, if it were reversed, I would say you would need to make sure that you were in your integrity and had closure in relationships that maybe didn't go well in the past. And then you would have this sense of completion and integrity that helps you go deeper into your soul substance and have some integration. Now, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's with the closure, the completion, the feeling of being complete doesn't come through because there are people who've crossed over. You have lost them, but you can do that spiritually. You can still communicate spiritually, and with Archangel Raphael, the healing, or was it Gabriel with this? Oh, I always get that mixed up. It could be, I have to grab my book over there with the archangels. I actually think it's Gabriel, or Gabriel. Male, it's a male archangel. It's Gabriel. That's right, Raphael is green. This dude has more red and purple. So, anyway, whomever he is, he's holding space for making the right decisions, right? So being ruled by Mercury, sometimes he's the messenger who brings in, the message about something in a relationship. And on another level, if this is someone you've been dating for years and it's time to make something official, this card in a love relationship, when it comes through upright, can be someone that you can give your heart to without any reservations at all. And it's just really solid, with Saturn ruling this card. And this could definitely be a marriage of the hearts, together. If the Lover's card would be read in the reversal, that would just bring in that need to take your time to notice the place where you might have a little misalignment of values, those imbalances. You notice how there's a lot about balance in this card. And we do have justice down here moving forward. So if there's anyone out there who's still, trying to decide whether or not this person's the right one for you, it's okay. Just question. Do you feel more balanced and whole around the person? Do you feel like you have found your mirror, with the other person? Do you feel really met by the other person that's in your life? And this could be even a group of people. That's very possible when it's the World, right? Yeah. Okay, so then with Monday, and this kind of really sets the stage for the whole week. These cards are really powerful here. But with Monday, with the Eight of Cups, there's some place in your life that you're having to walk away from to take really good care of yourself. It's ruled by Saturn and Pisces, and Saturn is always about lessons and mastery of lessons, and Pisces has to do with not allowing yourself to be victimized anymore or taken advantage of anymore, or abused at all. Even if it's just like emotional neglect, it's still abuse. Depending on the person, right? Like if you're in a relationship with somebody who just you can't connect with on the emotional levels, you could walk away from that at the beginning of this week, because it's not appropriate anymore, right? I mean, the Eight of Cups can be really challenging. If it were to be reversed, you could even be feeling really hopeless in a relationship, and feeling like you really do need to walk away. But when it's upright, it can be just meeting that disappointment on all those levels, and you're like, I've done all I can, and I'm going to have to climb that hill and take my life force with me in another direction. And so there's that, withdrawal and emotional withdrawal, because you're kind of done. And then for some of you, it could be this feeling like you want to escape. And if that's the case, it's like, especially leading up to the full moon, right? Opposing the sun in Pisces. When we have a full moon, it's always the moon opposite the sun. So if there's some wanting to escape, a therapist can help. Someone with a high level of emotional intelligence who doesn't have any fear of going inside of all their feelings or being with any feeling, and they're also able to connect the dots and understand. There's a deep understanding with the King of Cups. So this could be, for some people, avoiding therapy. It could be, for some people, there's no way to get around it. We do, when you're going through challenging times, therapy is so helpful. And if the King of Cups isn't a therapist, it can be, an attorney. It could be any professional person. It doesn't have to be a man either, but it could be any professional person who is very, very, caring in their job with whatever type of work that they do, whether it's a doctor, attorney, physical therapist, chiropractor, any type of a person that helps you, or even an artist. Anyone who helps is in the helping profession. It could be an art therapist, but any type of professional person that comes through in a very caring way. So if this were reversed, if we're dealing with the King of Cups reversed, this would be emotional manipulation that you're walking away from. Or maybe this is the day that you're trying to decide, do I walk away from this person who seems to be way too manipulative, way too adept at manipulating. So then with Tuesday, we have the Death card, which, never really means death, unless it's surrounded by, let's say if you had the Four of Swords next to it, the Ten of Swords, and, could be challenging then. But not in this case. This is a card of big changes. Big changes. Every time, I think I've told you guys a million times, every time I've moved house, I always got this card ahead of it. It's like, oh man. But it's a big change to let go of one home and to embrace another one and start over. It's one of the biggest changes. But other big changes in our lives, of course, are changing jobs, divorces, changes when we let someone go. That's always hard. Even if it's best for us, it's still hard. It's still really, really hard to do. And then with the Three of Wands here, now wait, let's pretend, hold on, I forgot to say, let's pretend this was reversed. This would be resisting the big changes that need to come through in order to progress. And if the Three of Wands were straight up, this would be big changes that brings in the, for some of you, it can be big changes that brings in that ability to literally move forward in a really good way. The Three of Wands is like looking ahead and finding, it's like foresight, right, out into the future. And it's an expansive card. It's the Sun in Aries. Just think of the first day of spring. And the first day of spring this year is, Saturday the 20th. So that's coming up. So I feel like it's really, a lot of us are just thinking of the big changes we'd like to make in life with spring coming in. And I think a lot of people are thinking of traveling. I did notice that we're still having, mask requirements on planes and all federal, forms of travel, governmental types of travel. So I actually like seeing that. I think it's healthier that way. There's probably nothing that's more challenging to stay healthy in as to, travel on airplanes, breathing recirculated air from everyone else. So anyway, if this were reversed, with the Three of Wands reversed, that can bring in having delays and some obstacles to the big changes that need to come through. So just, I would say with this, the best advice would be to stay open to those big changes, but have foresight in your planning. Think long term. And that's especially true with, the world over here. And then with Wednesday, the Chariot is one of the best cards. It's, ruled by Cancer, so we're talking cardinal movement energy. Sometimes it's our actual vehicle. And you might be thinking, you need your car or vehicle, car, truck, or whatever you drive checked up. And, you're going to conform to those rules with the Hierophant here, take it to an expert. And, just on a mundane level, that could be the case. And on the soul spiritual level, this is my card for staying very connected to your inner being as you move forward. And if you are driving, don't go too fast. Be careful. If it were reversed, it would be feeling a little disconnected from your inner being and needing to, really needing to slow down and take your time. It's a card of self-control. If it's reversed, then it's like a lack of self-control and a lack of good direction to go in, and feeling maybe even a little moody and sometimes aggressive, which includes passive aggression. You have to maybe watch for people like that, especially with the Hierophant. It could be passive aggressive people that work for the government, passive aggressive people, or downright aggressive people who just want to control you, that work for the government. And sometimes they know what's best. Other times, I always feel like taking self-responsibility for yourself and your own health and your own finances is always the way to go. Let's see. Yeah, because if this were reversed, could be just feeling kind of lost, and then imagine with the Hierophant reversed, it could be not wanting to conform. There's that possibility. But the Hierophant, it really has to do with our belief systems. How will we hold on to tradition, or do we want to break free? Like I say, be your own authority. Find your own sense of self and be your own authority. And if you make a mistake, then okay, well, that was the wrong direction, and I'll figure it out, right? But staying connected with your inner being is always the way to go, rather than getting into this dualistic, going one way and then the other, thinking that one's right and the other one's wrong. Well, just hold on to that right middle way will be the healing path, which is what all these symbols are about here. It's about that, staying balanced and centered. And we have that, that need here with the Lover's card too. Stay balanced and centered, and connected to our feelings is always the right way to make progress. And then finding your own your own inner beliefs. What do you really believe in? What matters to you most? It's like in the old days, this used to be, with the number 5 card, it went like this. Hold on, here's my deck. So the Fool is always, the card that's like going through the journey of the soul. And then we have the Magician that needs to learn that he can create whatever he wants. You, she, we can all create whatever we want within reason, right? And then the High Priestess comes in, and this can be an initiation into knowing that you can create whatever you want, but it's also the need to go into your feelings and tap into your higher self before you make those decisions. And then once you do, then you conceive of what it is that you want to create, whether it's a baby or a piece of art or cooking a meal, whatever. The Empress she's the one that gets it done. And she's the healthy mom. And then we have the healthy dad who helps create the structure and the protection and the strength. And this, in the old days, this used to be the Pope in the church. Well, no more. Like we don't. You can have your still your connection to your religion, but you don't need a middleman anymore. Is the thing. We know that by now. You can have a very loving minister or pastor, any church official, and they can, if they're healthy, if they're not controlling, and if they're not trying to control you, basically, they will help you find yourself. They will help you find yourself. And so that's why I see this card as like believing in yourself and identifying yourself with that inner connection, right? And then, of course, the following major gateway with the major arcana is the Lovers over here, which is making those decisions that are based on your connection with your higher self and the laws of love. And then moving forward in the right direction comes in with our, if you're connected with your inner being, you move forward in the right direction. But if you're still stuck in duality, you're going to be looking outside yourself for which way to go. So it's always about going in, just keep going in. And then the next card, of course, after the Chariot would be the Strength card, and that's where you have that inner strength because you're connected to who you truly are. Okay, so then moving forward into Thursday. Wait, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Thursday. Well, darn it, with the Three of Swords, sometimes I'd rather have this reversed, and I'll talk about it both ways. Straight up, it has to do with sometimes major heartbreak, and it's my card for self-betrayal, but we're always going to be, moving through life, we're always going to be at certain junctures in our lives. We will be betrayed because it's the nature of humans, on Earth. We just don't seem to be able to, be perfect. Right? We can't. It's impossible for us to be perfect in our love the way we should be. We're human. We make mistakes. We say the wrong things. We're short with our tempers. We sometimes say something that makes people feel rejected. So this can be major heartache or just somebody saying something a little snarky. It can go from anything to a major breakup and separation to just a little rejection, or it can be major grief too. Now, I really prefer it reversed because then, of course, the swords are falling out of the heart and there's reunion or forgiveness. There's definitely something that has come full circle and things have changed. And then with the Justice card, this has to do with staying very balanced. The Justice card it's karmic in nature in that, staying balanced is always the part of that right middle way. And we're here to, we're here as human beings incarnated with this need to balance out our soul substance all the time. It's just one of those soul tasks that we will always have, is to learn to not be so dramatic, not be so emotionally reactive, because you know how it is. You can feel it. You can feel it inside you if you're all wound up or if you're too tight or if you're just really down. Well, but maybe you do need that rest, and being down is okay, because you're healing something on a deep level. And that would especially be the case if someone has broken your heart. Then just knowing that when those times come, and this doesn't have to be Thursday, this could be any time, this is a little bit of a timeless message in here, that whenever we go through deep levels of pain, it has come to us for some reason. And it's always, the reason is always to meet the level of pain, to meet the different levels of pain as they come through. But to always hold fast, knowing that it's helping to balance out some soul substance within that had been previously caught up in some, a little bit of drama over here or a little bit of put down over here. And it might have been caught up because with the Hierophant here, it might have been that there was some soul substance caught up in something that was a false belief about yourself, right? And somebody's mirrored that false belief back to you. And now it's your turn to feel the pain, but then go, oh, wait a minute, I can turn this around. And that's how you clear your karma, which is really, really wonderful. Because this card is about the truth. Lady Justice is about the truth. And she's the card of karma and cause and effect. And then bringing through that, that lawful balance. Let's see. And then Friday, with the Page of Pentacles, this brings in something new. There can be good news. If it were reversed, it could be bad news. But it could be good news that comes in really fast with the Knight of Swords. And it could be good news about finances or, schooling, education, Pentacle. But then again, Pentacles is just everything. It could be even a good health diagnosis. And then you feel like moving forward much more quickly. But remember, always stay balanced. It could be that you're scrambling to get a lot of things done so that you can have some time off the week, for the weekend. Maybe you really want the whole day off on Saturday or Sunday, or maybe both days. So you're going to do everything you can to get everything done and cleared up. So just be careful about being hasty with the Knight of Swords here. That's the only warning with that card. So you don't hurt yourself. It's fire and air together, so you have to be careful. Be careful with your words too. Be careful with your spending. With the Page of Pentacles there, can be you just want to get it done, and maybe there's some shopping around you could do to find better prices, things like that. And then Saturday, I love this. And I'll do a reading on the full moon too. But I love this Nine of Pentacles here, which is, when it's straight up, it's about luxury. And having so much luxury that you can focus in on what really matters to you most and create even more luxury. Or donate. It's one of those philanthropic, how can I even say that? It's a card of philanthropy. And then rest. On Saturday, it looks like we're going to get some rest and some peace. I love that. Okay, wait, what was on the bottom? Oh, yeah, this with the Six of Pentacles, this is about reciprocity. It's about equal giving and receiving, how giving is the same as receiving. When we can give, we're absolutely receiving in return. And with the Hermit, it's a part of our inner light to be able to give. To give our love is a real need. To be able to love and give and share our love is a real need. And that's part of what the Hermit's about. It's self-reflection. If you're, like, let's pretend this were the Six of Pentacles reversed. This could be self-reflection on a relationship where you haven't been feeling that you were met and that it wasn't an equal fairness of time and effort and care, right? If it's this way, if pretend it were this way with the Hermit reversed, it would be too much giving, too much over-giving with the Six of Pentacles, and then the need for self-reflection later on because maybe you've overdone it in the giving department. But I love how we're ending the note with a Virgo card here. So let's see how the full moon, or what the opportunities of the full moon are. And I have a complete, which deck? I want to use this deck. Okay. So the Empathic Oracle. Let's use this one for the full moon. But I have a full weekly astrological trends, transits, where I covered the full moon and the rest of the transits really thoroughly. And I do those weekly, so that's already uploaded there. Okay. What do I need to know about this full moon in Virgo? 27 degrees Virgo. Beside the fact that, I do remember that beside the fact that it's opposing the sun, which it always happens, it's also opposing Neptune, Jupiter, and, Neptune in a direct opposition, pretty much. And then Jupiter and Mercury were up here. So it's a whole lot of Pisces illumination, like the moon, the full moon coming in and illuminating all this Pisces compassion that we're holding space for in Ukraine. That's a big, big part of it. So what do we need to know? Okay. There we go. To wait to kind of see sometimes which cards light up for me. It's a weird eye-hand coordination, but then sometimes I'll see the cards with little flickers around them. Okay, it's this one here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so for the full moon, to get inside of our third chakra, to be in our, now this goes with that Chariot card that was up here. To be in our will center, the third chakra is our will center. The front will be the feeling center, and then the back back of the chakra would be the the will. You know, all the will centers are in our back. Just think of like how your back, your spinal column, is the will that can push you forward. And then the feeling centers in the front is where we receive, right? So when they're balanced between the back and the front, then the energy flows guiding us in the right direction. So this will be illuminating our divine will. It will be illuminating our, for those of you who have claircognizance, where you just have direct knowing as one of your clairs, this full moon will be very, very helpful. Now this one with crowd surfing, see all the like faces around, I think this is us really, really tuned into what's going on in Ukraine. And we're shining our light. We know, I'm sure we've all lived lifetimes where we've been involved in, caught up, in the pain of war. And it's just, it's something that we can all have compassion for. And then with air, with the element of air, even though we're going to be moving into fire with spring, right? Cardinal spring energy. I'm thinking that we're going to have lots and lots of ideas coming in. And then having this third eye chakra here, this would be our sixth chakra. And the third and the sixth, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, so it's like the structured levels of the chakras. Yeah, the first, third, fifth, and seventh. I'm feeling like this combination here with the full moon, there's going to be a lot of circulation of ideas coming from social media, lots and lots of news we're going to be holding space for. And we're going to need to meditate, and I'm feeling like this is so much about peace here. Look at that spiraling in energy over the kind of glazed over eye that can be in that state of peace. Some people do meditation with like an open eye, kind of a glancing meditation. Some people do candle gazing. So this might be for some of you. When I meditate, I get that purpley kind of lavender color, usually at the beginning. And I don't. It's partly that my guides are saying they're there with me, and then my third eye's open. But it's with my eyes closed. I don't do well with open eye visions, other than the cards will light up sometimes. So maybe there's something opening there for me. But yeah. So maybe this last card is saying that this full moon is going to help us feel well. In some parts of the USA and in other parts of the world, of course, it's going to be really cold. But with this holiday card, this looks like a Christmas tree to me. So I feel like this combination here has to do with going into our mind's eye and imagine giving gifts. And give as much as we can physically, as far as donations, and because remember we did have that Six of Pentacles. So, and with the Hermit, this is a Hermit type of a card as well, right? Going within and listening, right? With the air, we're listening to messages that come through. And we might have to shut out the crowd, but then again, maybe we can go within, do some meditation to go within to connect with what is it that, this could be the people in Ukraine, like what do they really need? And of course, it's food, shelter, safety, it's everything. But I'm going to do a separate reading on that for the week. But for us, this feels like we have our divine will. that needs to love, has that real need to love and give. And it can feel like Christmas time when we go there, to go out, to go inside to where it feels like Christmas time. Everybody feels like giving and loving and receiving in Christmas time. Interesting. Okay, so I feel like using this other deck too. So let me move these up. And I'll draw a few cards from this deck, and then we'll be done. So this is the Earthcraft Oracle. I think I'll just go with whichever cards want to kind of push themselves up. Karmic Debt. Run with Wolves, and Medicine Woman. Wow. Wolves are direction pathfinders. Direction, man, that goes with that Chariot card that we had. This feels like Ukraine to me. This feels like we can help them by grieving with them, by helping them go in a new direction, and that would be what the most healing thing, just sharing their grief, doing, of course, everything that we can to support them, but there's healing that's happening already. And this could be speaking to the women of Ukraine who have been fighting along with the men. But I feel like we can really help them by just staying emotionally connected with them. Now that doesn't mean that you have to. That does not mean at all that you have to watch the images on the news if it's too painful for you. It certainly is for me. I shy away every time I see it. Especially the children and pregnant women, my goodness. But yes, okay, so take good care of yourself this week, as always. Okay, you guys, sending you big hugs. Bye.